Welcome to another edition of the Basketball Teacher Podcast. Our mission is to bring you discussions on a wide array of topics in the coaching world to grow players on and off the court. You can connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and also reach us directly through email at basketballteacherpodcast@gmail.com. Now, here's your host, Coach Mike Hernandez.
Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining us, whatever platform you are listening on or wherever it is that you are listening, whether it's in the US or around the world. Your support, as always, is appreciated. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So today's topic is one that is personal to me. It's one that I have a lot of experience with and I relate to a lot. And we're going to be talking today about coaching when you don't necessarily have all of the resources that maybe you want or maybe that you're used to, and how to make it work, and coaching in environments or areas where basketball or sports in general might be underserved, and you have to get creative and you have to do the best with what you have and still provide the best experience that you possibly can to your players. Again, this is something that is really personal to me, and I'm really happy to also have a guest on here who also has some experience to talk about this topic. So to help talk about this subject, I am joined by Coach Keon Smothers, or Coach Keys. Coach, how are you today?
How you feeling, Coach? I'm doing great this morning.
I am doing quite well. Like I said, this topic I am really passionate about. I know you are as well, so I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So, Coach, let's go ahead and start with introduction to you, your coaching journey, your basketball journey. Where's the game kind of taking you, and where are you currently at right now?
Okay. Well, with my basketball journey, I'm going to start off with me. I was an athlete. I went to Chicago, Washington, where we had a great season. We had some great seasons over there. I actually made it to the city championship 2-3 years in a row. Lost to Derrick Rose in the championship in 3 years that I was in high school. So I'm well familiar with Chicago basketball. Whatever. Like I said, I went to college. I went to Le Moynes out in Memphis. It's an HBC out in Memphis. Played 4 years there at Le Moynes College. And basically, I'm going to start off my coaching journey. How I really started off coaching, I have to be honest. I was playing ball. It wasn't even nothing I was thinking about. One of my best friends started an AAU travel team called Team More Athletics, Levante Etheridge. He was just like, man, bro, come coach with me. I say, man, I'm not trying to coach. I'm still playing ball myself. Or whatever, so I'm not looking into coaching. So 1 week I just went out there with him. They traveled to I believe it was Missouri. He took about 50 kids out there, and he needed a coach. So I just stepped in that day, and man, ever since that day, my life has changed coaching wise, honestly. Like I said, that was in 2018. 2018, I started with Team More Athletics, where me and Levante Etheridge, man, we probably got about 10 teams now. That's Midwest, and we helping a lot of kids get to school. Academic wise. So the program was really for inner city kids that didn't have much, didn't have a lot of money, where they couldn't go pay for the high programs. So we did something for a lot of inner city kids that we knew people did for us as we was growing up. We knew our parents couldn't pay for it because they had to make sure the bills was together. Mm-hmm. So that's what we did. And honestly, when I started coaching, man, I was winning. I was winning not because I had the top players or anything, but how hard I worked, like I said, how hard I really gave my energy to my players, like the way I coach, my players react to it. Sure. So like I said, that was in 2018. I was with Team More Athletics. In 2019, I got offered a job by Coach Arthur Goodwin at Bogan High School. I joined Bogan High School, where I became the freshman coach and the head junior varsity coach. My first year as the freshman coach, I won the city championship at Bogan High School back in 2019. And under Coach Goody, I learned a lot. That was probably one of my mentors who taught me a lot of things that I live by now, which is hard work, dedication, making sure you hold your kids accountable, or whatever, on and off the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really I took with me. It started in the classroom with Coach Goody. If you didn't have the grades, no matter who you was, you could have been the best player in the state. He's not putting you on the court.
Sure.
And that mentality just being under him for that year and a half, it just made me understand, because I was one of them students where when I was in high school, I did have trouble academically.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I made sure I promised myself when I did become a head coach, that wasn't going to be my athlete's problem, athletics, academic wise, and
sure.
And basically, me and Coach Good, like I said, we Bogan, we went to the 3A state championship, man, where we made a great run. We actually lost in the championship game, in the 3A championship, which, like I said, I learned a lot. I learned a lot out of under Coach Good, and opportunities came. A lot of people saw my dedication. A lot of people saw how hard I worked. Every gym you saw kids in, you saw me in. Every time you saw me in the gym, I'm on the court, I'm working the players out, I'm pushing.
Sure.
I'm pushing to really build my resume, and that's when Longwood came along. I was blessed. I was blessed to get an opportunity to get a call from Longwood to become a head coach over there, and that's really what started my coaching journey. I took over Longwood in 2020, this past year, where we had instant success. Where we won the conference at 19-8. That was the first time in school history that they won a conference, and we actually moved up to the Power Conference, where we're in the same conference as Simeon, Morgan Park, the Bowman.
Wow. Okay.
The guys who I looked up to.
Sure.
Now I'm coaching against them now. That's really how my journey started, coaching journey. I know we're going to get into a lot more, but that's basically how my coaching journey started. 2018, I started with Team Moore. Well, like I said, me and my brother, we had our own traveling program. Then I moved over to Bogan in 2019. Now I'm the head coach at Longwood now. We're doing some pretty good things over there in Longwood.
And to kind of bring that full circle, if you're playing Simeon, if I remember, that's where Derrick Rose went to high school, isn't it?
Yeah. So I actually saw Coach Rob. Me and Coach Rob actually great friends. We speak a lot. But when I told him, I told Coach, like, Coach, you got me in high school. You know I want my leg back. Even though you guys are Simeon Wolverines, I definitely want my leg back, Coach.
That's funny. It kind of all comes full circle, and just kind of leads well into my next question, because you're kind of a Chicago basketball product, kind of almost like through and through, from high school and now back to coaching. So you've kind of seen the game in Chicago for years now, and so I'm curious, for the listeners who don't really know, what is Chicago high school basketball kind of like now? What's kind of the situation, or what are some trends that you've noticed as of late? Maybe how is it a little bit maybe different or similar from when you played to what it's like right now?
Man, one thing I can say, Coach, the biggest thing when I was in high school to the generation now, social media. Social media, in a good way and a bad way, because when I was in high school, social media wasn't as big. So you know how we got our college letters out, and we sent emails. Now they have mixtapes. They have the colleges. Like right now, I'm speaking to a lot of colleges for my guys through the internet, and it's just, that's one of the biggest things that I see internet wise. And like I said, Coach, it's a good thing. It's a bad thing, because some guys. One thing I did notice, a lot of guys, they take the internet to their head. They take the rankings and the mixtapes to their head, and then it never humble. Sometimes I feel like it don't humble it don't humble the kids always. To
Mm.
always see the rankings, I always see the mixed videos because I was playing one team last year, and I heard the guy tell my player to check my YouTube. And just hearing that, I'm like, man, I played ball probably 30 years now, and I never heard check my YouTube. But just and not knocking the kid, coach, but the kid doesn't have any offers, anything. But just him having that video, him having that YouTube video, it just give him confidence, and, which is okay. But like I said, the biggest thing for me is social media, and that's why me and my guys, we use social media, but they know as a coach how I want them to use it. Let's make sure we're using it for the right things, to help recruitment, help yourself get noticed, or whatever. So that's the biggest thing. And the training wise, man, it's a lot of trainers up in high school now.
Yeah.
When I grew up, man, we knocked on our friend door, asked mom, can he come out? And that's how we got better. We go to the court up the street, down the street from the house. But now it's a lot of trainers, and it's making kids believe, not saying it's a bad thing, but I don't believe it's a good thing. Making kids believe that they're somewhere that they're not there yet, or whatever. And that's how, like I said, it's good to have a trainer, good to have guys to help you. But when I came up, it's just, man, I got better working on my weaknesses. Like I said, it's going to the park with my friends, doing more kid things, not being in the gym with one trainer. It's just you and him. That's good. But like I said, coach, that was the training thing, and the social media thing is what I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around as we get into more of the limitations that we don't have at Longwood. You will see how we train and how we break things down and how we do. We just, kind of the old school way. I have my guys in the pool and with the bricks doing things.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the training thing, I think it's really interesting. I think there's a lot of like benefit that could have happen if you have a trainer, but then at the same time, like you said, it's how is that trainer being used? Are they being honest with like where that player's at? And I think for you personally, and I know I kind of feel the same way, that there's something good about competition, about going to the park and just competing with one another, going to the YMCA or whatever. And I think that there needs to maybe be that balance. If you have a trainer, like you can work like one-on-one, but like you still got to be out there competing. You still got to be out there playing. And yeah, exactly. Because there's like for me, I could have developed all of these no moves and everything when it's just 1-on-0, but I don't know if that would ever have worked if I was playing against other people. So there's kind of a balance, I feel like, for sure.
Like I tell my guys, cones don't move, fellas. We can work out with these cones all we want. They're not moving left or right. They're not closing out. They're not getting into you. So, like I said, it's okay to use the cones, but fellas, let's make sure. Like you said, it's not really the kid. It's what is the trainer teaching you? Fundamentals. Like I said, because Coach, I can watch a video. I'm seeing a kid, shoot a step back three who don't have a left hand, who don't have a left hand dribble. So, it's that, and that's another thing. As we speak about Chicago, I have to be honest, because I know when a lot of the coaches watch this interview, like a lot of them ready, Rob Smith, Ty Slaughter, they know when they sit with me, Coach, because I'm probably one of the youngest coaches around, so they know I'll bring them to the adults. The adults is one of the reasons I feel like Chicago basketball is changing, and probably not even in Chicago, everywhere, because the adults, it's a lot of hidden agendas with adults. Is what you can do for me, and that's one reason why I feel like my players play so hard for me and go so hard for me, because like I tell my players all the time, it's not what you can do for me, it's what we can do for each other. When y'all win, not win. And that's, like I told my players, we can go 0 for 29. If everybody go to college, we won. And that's all that matter, or whatever. So That's one thing with Chicago basketball that like I said, me being a player and me coaching, because recruiting wise, you got to deal with a lot. Just say you want to recruit someone's son, you're gonna have to go to the dad, the coach, the AAU coach. It's just a lot. It's just a lot just to, and all you want to do is just give a kid a fair opportunity. So that's one of the biggest things with me as well, Chicago. The adults, we got to get back to it being about the youth, about the player, about the student athletes.
Yep. Yeah, I think that there is a trap that definitely exists where the adults get so invested and that almost takes away from the kids themselves. And yeah, we definitely don't want to be in that situation, because it should be about the kids, like you said, about the athletes and about their experience, and hopefully, like you said, going off to college or going off to do something great after high school. So yeah, absolutely. Now, our topic, as we're kind of talking about working and coaching in areas that are maybe a bit underserved or have limited resources. To start with, let's kind of talk about your situation right now. Let's say compared to maybe other schools or other programs that you have seen, what are some of the maybe the limitations that you're working with and you're working around? Again, to make it clear to those listening, these aren't excuses or anything like that, but what are just like maybe some of the resources or things that maybe you don't have at your disposal that maybe other schools or programs do?
Man, Coach, my biggest thing with my coaching staff, we've been working on this. We've been pushing this for probably since we started. A fan base. That's one thing I knew a lot of when I was at Bogan, Simeon, even when I was in high school. We had a fan base. We had a fan base where they push those athletes. They come back around and they help. And what I mean by help, just donations. Because right now we're a charter school, so therefore we don't have a lot of finances that's going to the athletics. And one thing that I see is just. One thing is gym, like you said, you guys, you coached at a school that didn't have a gym right now. Man, my problem is we're K through 12. We're K through 12, and we have one gym room. And you have volleyball, baseball, the 8th graders, the 7th graders. So gym time was limited for us as a high school basketball team. And that was my biggest thing, really, when I sat down with the principal or whatever about gym time. Then another thing is equipment. When I started, Coach, we didn't have basketballs. We didn't have basketballs.
Wow.
It was rough. It was rough. When I took over, I got to be honest, a lot of guys was asking me why I took it, because they knew the limitations that I was going to have going over there, and uniforms. The uniforms that we had on this past year, man, they had the uniform probably 4 or 5 years. So we fundraised. We did a lot of other things that we raised money ourselves. One thing we did at Longwood, I try to bring a family type feel where I keep my parents involved. I keep the players involved. Like this week, we got a turkey football bowl where we just gonna just try to raise some money or whatever. Just do little things. So that was the biggest thing for us. We don't have much at Longwood. Like I said, when I started off, Coach, we didn't have balls. Man, they didn't know when we was gonna be in the gym because girls basketball come first, then volleyball, and then the boys. So like you say, we was practicing outside, just running, conditioning, just doing other things just to make sure study hall. We had study hall every day. Well, that helped it or whatever, help keep the guys focused on their grades. Whenever we didn't practice, we just had study hall where we locked in study hall wise, film wise. So we just did the other little things just to make sure the guys stay engaged. But right now, I'm still trying to sit with my principal and try to find out a lot of things now. But yeah, we don't have a lot of resources, and that was one reason why I did want to have an interview so people can hear, people can see, what's going on with Longwood.
And And how do you, so you stepping into that situation with the limited resources that you have, for you mentally, how did you step into that situation and not let it like overwhelm you and still keep like your enthusiasm and still keep your excitement level up?
Coach, when I signed off, when I took the Longwood head coaching job, I knew I wasn't coming from Bogan. That was my number one thing. Where at Bogan we were sponsored by Under Armour, where everything came in boatloads or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took it, I did understand kind of what I was getting myself into. But man, coach, I'm a hard nosed coach. I know I'm a leader of 15 to 25 guys. I'm not gonna quit on y'all. If I signed up for this, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it how we got to get through it. And what I did, just like I didn't have basketball, and right now basketball's around $100 a ball. I went to go buy a couple, but I reached out to the Rob Smiths from Simeon, the Coach Goodies from Bogan, and that's how we did get a lot of our equipment. Other coaches knew me and knew how hard I wanted to make sure my players had the things that they didn't have. And financially, we just couldn't combine at that time. So I reached out to other guys who I know was my mentors, like I said, like Coach Good, Coach Rob, and they gave me basketballs, equipment, and honestly, they helped me fundraise and helped me show me the way. Because like I said, it was my first year as a head coach. I only been coaching for 3 years, and I've been in high school for 2. I only been a head for 1 year, going to my 2nd year now. So I was new to a lot of things, or whatever, as far as fundraising and how to raise money for a program, because AAU and high school, it's totally, it's totally different.
Sure.
It's totally different. So with them guys, and that's why I keep mentioning them guys, because them some of the guys that help make my role a little less bumpier,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So like I said, I got a great coaching staff. That's one thing I gotta say. Josh Crenshaw, we call him Coach J. Man, he's one of the ones that like I said, help me stay together, help me understand that coach is something brighter. It's something brighter at the end. We just do what we got to do, even though we don't have a lot of balls and a lot of things over here. Man, we don't even have uniforms right now, to be honest. But everything gonna come together. So I was just up for the fight, coach. Honestly, I was just up for the fight and ready for whatever.
And I think that if you're really passionate about coaching, especially if you're kind of a younger coach or a newer coach or is just looking for that opportunity, well, that opportunity might come with maybe not necessarily like the best resources or everything like that. But if you have like the excitement for it, you have the energy for it, and like you did, like you reach out to others. I've found, at least where I'm at right now, and it sounds like for you too, that there's a really good coaching community around, and that if you reach out to others and you say like, here's the situation, and they know that you're genuine like you are, you're going to have people who are willing to help you out, because they should want to see you succeed. And I'm glad that that's kind of the case for you as well.
Yeah, coach. And that's definitely, like I said, that's what I feel like, if I can really pinpoint one thing that really helped me focus, was that, like I said, when you're able to call Rob Smith, who won 5, 6 state championships, Coach Slaughter from Whitney Young, where you can call them guys, and them guys continue to push you and continue to tell you how well you're doing, and if you need anything, giving them a call, but not just saying it, but when I really call, them being there for me. Like I said, that just made me realize I was doing something good. And like I said, whatever fight come with it, I'm gonna be ready.
Sure. And for your players, and I ask this question because, there's coaches every year who take over situations where maybe there's not the best resources there. And one of the things that those coaches who step into that program, one of the things they have to deal with is with their returning players, who kind of understand that like, hey, like this program, there might not be a lot of excitement to it. There might not be, a lot of enthusiasm, and some of the players might even be like a little bit embarrassed because they know they don't have like the resources that other schools do. So when you took over that program, did you find yourself having to sort of like pump up your players and like get them excited again? Were they already excited? What was that kind of situation for the players who are already there?
I definitely have to be proactive with that group. Honestly, when we first started, I took the job. I believe it was like June 17th,
Hmm.
and how our gym was. I was looking to try to get my guys in the gym, and our gym was filled with books. And I was asking the principal, like, how do I meet the guys? How do I get the guys engaged if the gym going to be filled with books until September? And she was just like, Coach, you got to make a way. So, Coach, what I did, I rented out a gym. It's probably about 20 minutes away from my school. I rented out a gym where I paid for it myself. It was $50 an hour. I rented it out for the guys, and I invited guys. I invited guys that I kind of knew that was on the team already, and I started with those. I had about 3-4 guys, Coach, that I already knew when I was taking over. I was kind of speaking to them, and I told myself, I'm going to use these 4 guys to change the culture. So, and what we did basically, man, we just worked. Once they saw them 4 guys every day with me, man, just working out, just going, just getting better. I believe it turned the other kids around. But when I started off, I probably only had about 5 kids, Coach, until we got in the building. Once I got in the building, like I said, we had trials and everything. But I had to change the culture. That was the number one thing I had to do. Guys didn't understand what time practice was. Guys didn't understand. Guys felt like they can show up Monday. I don't have to see them till Friday, and then they can come play Tuesday. So it was just the culture had to change, and that was my number one thing. Before I can win any game, before I can get any kid to understand me, or understand nothing I live for, I got to change the culture. So what we did. We got a Panther run, Coach. The Panther run. We're on 95th and Loomis. We probably run about 4 miles, and one day I got out there. I ran with the players. I ran from the whole 4 miles, and I beat the whole basketball team in the 4 miles. And some just kind of clicked, I believe, when them guys saw me out there running and pushing and weightlifting with the other 4 or 5 guys. Guys just started getting attached to it. Guys just started wanting to come to practice. They started wanting to be involved and everything. So it was really, I used myself. Where I turned myself into one of the players for about a month. Where I'm on the court, I'm working out with them. If we ain't got enough guys to scrimmage, I'm on the court. So I was doing things that they know a lot of head coaches just wouldn't do, or whatever. And that's what really made my guys understand, now we might have a good coach here, or whatever, because if he out here running, if he out here weightlifting, man, just say my team lose, Coach, I'm running the suicides too. I'm not going to say y'all run. So I was really the example, or whatever, to show them, like I said, because, Coach, you're a coach. A 13-year-old ain't gonna let no 30-year-old guy beat him. So up in their so therefore, once I started challenging them in ways, like I said, it just opened up. It just opened up for the basketball team to really start growing as a unit. And then, like I said, a lot of the kids that could play basketball, that was walking around the school that I didn't know, I started finding them, and I started bringing them in. And that's really how it started with us. Like I said, we really started only 4 guys, probably for the first, from June to probably September. We only had about 4 or 5 guys that was at practice, that was really committed.
And it sounds like to me, one of the things that you did, and I think that that's really important for coaches to do, is when you took over at Longwood, you made it like the most important program. Like you were all in, you were invested. It might as well have been like Duke University for you, like, because you were that invested and you were that engaged in the program. And I think, and I'll let you speak to on it. I think that the players kind of saw that you yourself were genuinely bought in, like you weren't just stopping and then you were going to leave after a year. Like it seems like you made the program seem like it was like the best, the biggest, the most important thing, regardless of like what the resources were there.
Coach, that's exactly what happened. I actually just spoke to my principal and my administrators a couple days ago, and they was just praising me, Coach. Not for what I did on the basketball team, but just changing the whole school environment. The enrollment is through the roof now. Within 1 year, Longwood enrollment is it's crazy now. And they, like, when I sat down with them, like I told them, only how a school train. It takes an athletic team. Every good principal know it takes an athletic team to help change that culture, build that enrollment, and that's the number one thing that I felt like I did bring to Longwood. The culture change. Like just hearing how the principal saying we getting students from everywhere that's trying to enroll up in here or whatever. It's just like you say, Coach. We appreciate everything you did, because it's not even about just the basketball team, Coach. I push baseball players here. I push football players to Longwood. I probably got over 50 students that's just walking around Longwood that's not athletic students now. So they understand. They totally understand. And basically what you said, my kids saw that, because my kids saw it before the principal saw it. They saw how hard Coach worked. Like they say, Coach, you use your own money to rent gyms and all that. But Coach, it wasn't about the money. It was about, like you said, when I took over that program, you was my Duke. You are my Duke. So before Duke was Duke, Duke had to be Longwood. So therefore, and that's why I feel like the success is coming how it is now. Like someone just told me, man, Coach, everyone's talking about Longwood right now. You call a lot of the basketball sites, even when I was emailing you, just sending you stuff, man, Michael O'Brien wrote a big piece on us. Prep Hoops wrote a big piece on us. So the recognition is there. But like I said, it really came off the hard work of myself and my coaching staff. It definitely wasn't just me. My coaching staff who've been with me for about 2 years now. Because even though we won together at Longwood, they was coaching AAU with me. I got some good guys. Like I said, I got Keon Smith. He actually played at Simeon. Went to the University of Illinois State. Played there as a starting guard overseas. Another guy, Josh Crenshaw, actually one of the top baseball players coming out of high school, went to the University of Minnesota. So I got some real hard-nosed guys around that understand Chicago basketball, but understand inner city kids or whatever. And then another thing, my whole staff in the building. We all working in the building where we see our kids daily. So like I told my players, I get a call from a teacher. I could just step over there because I'm also the dean of the school. So therefore, the kids know you can't get away with much. You got coach in the school, man. You got coach. You got all the coaches in the school to make sure you stay on top of what you got to do. All you got to do is do your part. We're gonna do our part.
Right. And I think that it's something really interesting about your particular situation of a school is that with your sports and your athletic program, when other schools see it, it's almost like it's like an advertisement. It's like a billboard for your school, because they see it and then they start talking about the school itself. And that's kind of what I tell my girls who I coach, is that when other people see you, they don't know your name, but they know the jersey that you wear. Yep. And they know that, for my case, it's Metro Tech. So when they see my players at the gym, they don't say like, oh, so-and-so. They say, oh, like a Metro Tech girl or a Metro Tech player. You're an advertisement for the school. Like, you're a billboard for the school. And in your case, like when that positivity spreads, then all of a sudden people are talking about your school in the best way possible, because of, like you said, it's the athletic program that's kind of out there and people are noticing that. So 100% agree that it could be used as a force for good. And I want to thank you. I think you're the first guest who mentioned Illinois State. That's where I graduated from. So I'm an ISU grad. So go Redbirds. So cool. I want to touch on something you brought up earlier about practices, and I know that as a coach, as you mentioned, I have coached outside on the concrete and the cement. I remember that. For coaches who might be taking a program who don't have a lot of resources, one of the things that they're kind of worried about is like, how do we make our practices like really good and really effective? We don't have gym space, we don't have basketballs. Like, we still need to coach and teach basketball, but we don't have all like the tools that we might need or think we need in order to run an effective practice. So how's that been for you to run those effective practices and making things work?
Basically, what we do, as far as one thing, we got a group chat, and I tell every coach, even the older coaches who mentor me, I'm actually helping. We got a group chat, coach, and when I say, man, we interact in the group chat like we're in the building, because right now we're dealing with Corona, so we're not around each other right now. But we got a group chat where we speak daily. They gotta check in. They gotta check in for class. They gotta do everything inside the group chat. And one thing we do, a lot of recent games we're watching right now. A lot of recent practice where we got Zoom. We meet twice a week for Zoom or whatever, where we got Zoom meetings or whatever. So that's the Corona part right now. We're using the internet right now. We're using the internet in our group chat where we are communicating, like even the presidential debate we were speaking about or whatever. It's more than basketball. Even a drive, like just say anything come on a drive. We make sure we engage with our guys. Make sure we're talking to them. Make sure they're talking back. Not just seeing our messages come in, but they're responding back to us. They're giving us feedback where we're helping build their brain. Like I said, there's more, because I tell everybody, you got to build an athlete for more than just athletics. You got to build them for life. Sure. And one thing that Longwood guys and Longwood players know, we building them for life. And that's why a lot of parents send me text messages daily, coach, we appreciate you. He's washing the dishes now. He's taking out the trash. He's doing things that he probably wasn't doing before Coach Keys met him, because the expectations is more than just basketball. But I'm gonna get back to the practice thing or whatever. But practice wise, Coach, basically, man, what we did as far as with limited resources, man, we came up with things. We didn't have a lot of weights. We didn't have a lot of weights in our weight room. So what me and some of my coaches did, we went to go get about 100 bricks, tied them down, wrapped them up. Well, we was weightlifting with the bricks. When they was running, we put a parachute, probably about 5 bricks in a book bag where they're working with a vertical leap or whatever. So we used what was around. Really. We can see a crate in the middle of a coat, right? That crate. We can jump over that crate. We can do whatever. So we didn't really make excuses because we knew we probably not gonna have the equipment, even with us doing this. We're still not gonna, I believe, gonna get all the equipment that we need, even though we're getting a little things. So we just understood what we was dealing with, and we just made the best of whatever was around. My guys know whatever, because that's kind of how we play basketball. If you, a lot of guys, like I was speaking to Coach Lou from Orr. He said, Coach, you guys play like Marist, but Westinghouse back in the day, because it's a scrappy team. It's a scrappy, sharing the ball team where everybody like, man, who was that guy? That guy got 25. That guy got 20. But like you just said, it wasn't about them knowing the name. It's about name on the chest or whatever. So basically, man, Coach, we just really, how we play, how we work out with, we don't make excuses. We got a chant that we say every game. I can, he can, we can. I got your back. And Coach, that just basically means, man, you hold your brother up, he gonna hold you up, and I'm gonna hold you up, and we hold each other up. We can't break. And that's just really what we just went with, man. We just used everything that was around us to make practice work, no matter what it was. If it was one ball, man, we're going to 3-man weave. If it's 2 balls, we're going to for me and we. So like I said, we didn't really make excuses, and the excuses that we didn't make during the process of getting ready for games, it just showed on the court.
And do you think that because of the situation with not having the most resources and just kind of having to make do with what you have, do you think that's kind of like directly affected kind of the way that your team plays in games? I think you kind of touched on that the way that your team is playing in games is almost of a result of the situation and having to make best of what they have. Am I kind of right in thinking that?
That's exactly right, Coach. Basically, like I just said, I try to make sure my kids understand, Coach, well, just because we ain't got this, we're not going to make an excuse. Just like I just had we had a big Zoom meeting yesterday about class. Just because we're not in the building, we're not going to make excuses or not why we can't get our work done, why we can't have that C and above, that 2.8. We're not going to make excuses right now because we're in the building, because it's e-learning. You got to do it. No matter how they bring it to you, no matter how it's brought to you, get it done. And that's just our motto, Coach. Get it done. No matter, we don't really go out as, because y'all not gonna hear Coach have an excuse. Like I told them, Coach, my car broke down for about a month. Like I told them, y'all thought Coach was gonna stop coming to practice. Nah, I'm a Uber, I'm a bus, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get to practice and get to work to make sure y'all see, if I'm doing this, you guys can do this. So like I said, Coach, I just really showed my guys ways that they don't really see a lot of coaches do or whatever. Just like I said, it's just, man, if Coach can do it, you guys can do it. And that's just really what we live by.
Definitely. No, I like that a lot. And I think that for one of the things for coaches to always keep in mind is that we as coaches might understand like what it takes and the amount of work that's required and not making excuses, like you said, but for some of our players, they might not have that role model.
Yeah.
They might need to see somebody like, oh, like this is what it looks like to not make excuses, or this is what it looks like to overcome adversity. And I think that we can't assume as coaches that our players kind of understand that, and that all of these things like may need to be modeled. And even for players who maybe do understand it, I think it's just a good reminder for them to see like, oh, like this adult, like they're doing it the right way, or this is how it's meant to be done. And I think it's really powerful. And it sounds like that's something that's really important to you, is making sure that your players understand like this is not only going to be what you need to do in basketball, but this is what you're going to need to do in life.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Coach, just piggyback a little off what you said.
Sure.
And that's really sums it up for me, because that's really how I got to what I got, where I got in life. Because I don't believe I would have got the Bogan job without everybody seeing how hard I worked outside of everything. I wouldn't got the Longwood job if everyone. One thing, Coach, if you call most of the coaches around Chicago, number one thing they're going to say, if you ask them to explain Coach Keys, number one thing I'm sure 90% will say is, "Oh man, he's probably the hardest working kid in Chicago, man." When I say he lead his gym and he beat me to a gym to the next gym, because like I said, I work hard, and that's really my DNA right now, and that's what I instill in my players. Like everybody say, Coach, your players play just how you played when you came up, hard nosed, tough, or whatever, man. And just like I said, just play for each other. So that's definitely really what I live by. Hard work and dedication kind of beats anything.
Sure. And just being that example, like we talked about, and just being that example for your players, and they'll pick up on it really quick. Like you mentioned, you know, the kids don't want to be losing out in sprints to their coach or to be losing out and things like that, you know. And yeah, so for sure, if you're working hard, they hopefully will rise up to that as well. Now, one of the things you also we've talked about here a couple times, we've mentioned it, is that when you took over, one of the things that you did, because it was really important to you, was also the academic side. And I think for a lot of coaches that is always a challenge, because they have to figure out, like, you know, I'm focusing on my coaching, but now I also have to, you know, I care about my players academically. So I wanted you to talk about that, about what that process was like for you to make sure that you were devoting enough time for your players to be successful academically, and how you made sure that your players knew that it was a priority for you.
Basically, academically, it started with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, I knew I was a good ball player, and I knew I probably could have went other places academically if I just focused just a little more hard. And I saying gave me kind of room to kind of lack off at times. So basically, when I took over as a coach, like I said, when I watched Coach Good, man, like how he'd take a whole practice and just speak to the kids about academics and the importance of it. It just made me understand that, man, okay, that was something that held me back. So one thing I tell my players, I speak to y'all of things that I've been through, real life situations, not nothing that I'm drawing up, not nothing that I'm just saying in my mouth. This is what I went through. So I don't want you guys to go through it because I got a lot of inner city kids, and I'm just being honest. I get a lot of inner city kids, like you say, that don't have them figures inside the house to really show them right from wrong, or even tell them right from wrong, or kind of just make them believe basketball is the only way. Basketball counts and nothing else counts. You don't, like I tell my players, no one's going to look at you. You can average 40, 50 points. If you don't have the grades, if you don't have the respect, if you don't have none of that, no one's going to look at you. So basically, Coach, what I did when I first stepped in, that was part of the culture change before we started even bouncing basketballs or doing anything. The whole culture change. It had to start academically before anything. And me and my coach, we wrote up contracts for each parent and each player that if your son don't keep this grade point average, if your son don't keep C and above, he will not be allowed to play in that week game until his grades come back up. And we focus on that. Even have to make a couple of examples out of my best players or whatever, where they got D's. And they got so used to playing coach with D's and F's that they thought it was going to continue to happen. So when I set my all-city nominee guard out and my big man, and we still won, it showed the kids. It really wasn't about the player. It really wasn't about nothing. It's about you take care of what you got to take care of. Everything else gonna take care of itself. And the players thought we was gonna lose by sitting them out. You know, the two seniors who kind of, like I said, was a little big head when I first got there, because they was the seniors of the guys and they was the returning scores and everything. So they felt like they was the team. So me coming in the first 3 months, whatever, it's nothing, because they had a coach. Their coach been there about 5 years now, so he's been coaching them for about 3. So me saying that, me trying to hold y'all guys to some standard, it just didn't work. So when the grades came out, both of them had D's. I set them out for probably about 5, 6 games. Their parents calling the principal bagging me up, and that's one thing that helped change the program. The administrators and the principal bagged me up. Like I told them, parents are going to come to you mentioning basketball, but not mentioning academics. Them type of parents that you just direct them to me or whatever, because they're not going to get on the court without the academics. So we stayed on our kids. Another situation happened, Coach, where the English teacher, she emailed me and she said, Coach, the players not getting there on time. It's because we're charter school, so we start at 8. The boys coming in around 8:30. I say, don't worry about that. I start calling practice at 6:15. So if you don't make morning practice at 6:15, you're not going to be allowed to play. You're not going to be allowed to come to afternoon practice. So it was just a lot of things we did. another thing that we did, one teacher called me, coach, the cell phone's a problem. So I made sure I contact every parent. I say, mom, dad, each player got to turn their phone in at 8 o'clock when they come in the building. Every kid, every athlete got to turn their phone in. If you need to speak to them, if anything needs to happen, you can call me, call the administrator. But coach, I collected the phones, and that's why I said I made it a family thing, because only how I was able to do that, my parents had to back me up, the principal had to back me up, the administrators had to back me up. So
Sure.
Once I had that, once I had them backing me up, it kind of made everything easy, because the kids knew, okay, we're not going to be able to get around this coach. We're not going to be able to F off with this coach. So therefore, we just got to, like I said, he going to hold us accountable, coach. And that's really what we just did academically. We stayed on our kids. We popped up in their classes. We did a lot of things, like, and whenever I did see the grades drop, me and the parents, we had meetings. I called the parents in. Like I said, I speak to my parents even now during Corona. We speak daily, because we got a parents group chat where I update them on everything that's going on, just checking on them throughout the week. So the parents and the administrator help me academically, really push and hold the kids accountable. But we stayed on their butts. We stayed on their butts where they didn't have much room to breathe, because, like I said, we knew we had these contracts, coach. So I felt like, as a coach, if I give your parents these contracts, I got to live by them now,
Sure.
Or whatever. Despite, I remember we played Bogan. Bogan, I think it was number 3 school in the state at that time last year, or whatever. And my guard had a D. Coach, I set him out, and it was just and one thing I learned, I gained a lot of respect off of that from the kids, the administrator, and the parents. And it kind of made my job a lot easier, because now going into my second year, I don't have to preach so much academics, because the parents preaching it, the principal preaching it. It's a village now.
Yeah.
That's preaching academics. Now, it's not just Coach Keys, the bad guy that's preaching academics. It's everybody now. So when you got mom, the teachers, even every teacher in our school, they can email me, call me, any problem you got going on with any athlete, just give me a call, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna do what we can do.
And I think that's the biggest challenge, I think, is you have these expectations and you have like these academic standards that you want to hold your team to, but then at some point you're going to be tested as a coach as to whether or not you're going to follow through with that, because it'll be your best player or a real important game. And if you mean what you say, then you're going to sit that player. And then once you do that, I think that the message is pretty clear. Like you said, you kind of get over that initial like test. And then once you pass that, then you don't really have to repeat the message too much, like you said, because they know, because they've seen you do it before. And I think that that's really helpful. And I think another thing that's really benefited you as well, it seems like, is also like, it seems like the other staff members at the school and your administration, they seem to be right on board with you. And I know that helps a lot when you have that going as well.
Oh, that's probably one of the biggest things, is getting the administrator, because working as a coach and as if the administrator don't bag you up, man, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard for you to make them change, because, like I said, you're going to have some parent that's just not happy with the decisions you're making. They're going to go to the principal before you, and and just to have that principal that's a direct note, whatever you got going on with Coach Keys. I'd rather me call Coach Keys over and we talk about this together. But us talking about it alone, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, because Coach have a policy, and we're going to stick by that policy.
Sure. Yeah. And then that's super helpful when everyone's on the same page, and the players know then, like, all right, I got to get it together, because there's no one for me to go to, because everyone's going to hold me those same standards. So yeah. Definitely.
And then plus it does make it a little easier when we had the Valley Victorian come off the basketball team in a salutatorian. So and then was 2 kids that was on the borderline of winning. So for me to just like I said, come in and the athletic basketball team have the Valley Victorian and the salutatorian, it was just a plus to why I push so hard academically, because right now we have the top 3 out of the whole out of the whole 2021 class, I have 3 athletes that's in the top 3. So we're going to win the award again. And just like I said, just explaining to parents how important winning the valedictorian is, winning a salutatorian is. But
Sure.
For it to come off with the basketball team the last 2 years is just a plus to how hard we push academically.
Sure. Definitely. And that's the real reward, I know for me personally, is to see them be successful, go off to college, go off to do great things. I mean, that's the part I know that makes me the most excited, and that's awesome to hear. Now, before we get to our concluding segment, I wanted to make sure I touch on this question specifically with you, Coach, and that is kind of a way to kind of maybe inspire others to kind of want to jump into that situation if they're going to go into a program that might not have a lot of resources. I want to ask you, how is this situation being at Longwood? How has it kind of made you a better coach? How has it made you a better person? What have you taken away from this that has helped your own personal growth being in this situation?
Man, Coach, it helped me in so many ways that I'm probably not going to understand probably into the next couple of years, man. But it just it built me mentally, because when you start from the bottom, man, you got to really climb your way to the top, and not have the resources and not have a lot given to you. You gotta get up and want to do it every day. You gotta really want to get up and do it every day, every hour or whatever. And that's really, like I said, it definitely made me a better coach. And one reason why I knew I was changing, I just want to give a situation that happened during the game.
Sure.
Basically, one of my players was going to the free throw line, and I called him over, Coach, and I called him over, and I got in his butt about something that he did before, a couple plays down. Coach, he went to the free throw line. This is one of mine, probably like a 95% free throw shooter. He missed both of them. And Coach, when I looked, I told myself right there, I say, Coach, you can't never do that again. You can't never bring a kid down without picking them up, because Coach, he haven't missed free throws all year. And when I called him over, Coach, I got into him about him making a turnover or something. But Coach, before I sent him out the huddle, I didn't tell him to go knock down them free throws. So Coach, I felt like I helped him miss them free throws, Coach, and my head coach, all my assistant coaches will tell you, I told them the same story, Coach. After that day, man, I felt like I was coaching for the win and not for the kids. And when I went back home and I sat and I thought about that, just replayed, I say, man, Jamarion never missed free throws. And I say, man, he missed 2. And when he missed 2, he kind of turned around and looked at me. Coach, that changed my whole coaching style, my whole coaching everything. That was probably like our 4th game of the year. Even though we was winning, like I told my coach, I was putting so much into the win because I wanted to win. I forgot about the kids wasn't having fun. I don't even think I was having fun because I was coaching so hard. And I forgot, even though we coach hard, even though it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. And once we take the fun out of it, I don't know what kid gonna play hard for you.
Sure.
And that's really changed my whole outlook on coaching, whole outlook, on life. I tell everybody, man, it's okay to, knock them down, but we got to make sure we pick them up.
Sure.
Like I tell my players, I'm gonna knock you down 10 times. I should be able to pick you up 200 times, though. It's just how it goes. So, Coach, that was really a moment as a coach where I'm not gonna never forget that moment, because that was a 90. Like I said, that kid probably missed, man, since I knew him, a free throw, probably 10 free throws in 2 years. So for him to miss a back-to-back, I say, nah, I was too hard on him. But it wasn't even just I was too hard on him. I let him walk out without letting him know I got your back still. And that's why I go back to I can, he can, we can. I got your back. That's what we really live by, Coach. And my players know, man, I'm probably one of the the funnest head coaches, because because of that day. Because I mean, I can sit on the bench and I can laugh with my kids. We can laugh, whatever, dance and practice. We joke, we do everything, man, or whatever. And that's one reason I feel like I said, they play hard for me how they play. So that was one moment in my coaching career where I feel like it changed for the better. Even though it was something small, it was just it was that big because I knew that kid wouldn't miss them free throws if I would have picked them back up after just bringing them back down.
And it sounds like from that moment, there's like so much that you've personally learned from, and that can just apply like so much beyond basketball and just sort of in life in general. So just as my last question before I give you the floor, last question is what message or what advice would you give to that coach who's kind of on the fence about taking that position where they know it's going to be an uphill battle and they know they don't have a lot of resources? What would be that one message you would want to give that coach to kind of push them into convincing them that it's the right move to make?
Man, one thing I can say is, oh man, Coach, honestly, Coach, when I took that job, like I said, because Coach, a lot of people interviewed for that job, and
Sure.
Coach, they passed it up. And they passed it up, and the same reason that they passed it up, I wasn't gonna pass up because I didn't understand why they passed it up. So, Coach, you gotta want to do it. That's the number one thing. That you gotta really be honest with yourself, man. If you one of them, because Coach, I wasn't one of them coaches that wanted to start off at Simeon. Like I told Coach Goody at Bogan told me out of his own mouth, Coach, all this is yours in 2 years. This is my second year. All this will be yours in 2 years. Coach, I didn't want that. I wanted to start where I can leave my own legacy or whatever. I can start where no one left me this. I'm leaving someone else this. And that's just how I looked at it. If I get this team to a spot that no one else can get them, it's going to make myself and my players look a lot more better than me just taking over for Coach Good at Bogan. Yeah. Bogan got a name already. Simeon got a name already. So, Coach, I wanted that challenge. And I'm not sure every coach wants that challenge. But, Coach, for the ones that want that challenge, man, it's one thing I know. I'm seeing my fruits and labors now. That first year going through with them long practices, no basketballs. Now I don't have a problem getting basketball, Coach. We got 100 balls now, or whatever, and not because my school banned it, because people saw how hard I pushed to get Longwood where it's at now. And not saying, like I said, we're Simeon, not saying that, but I know. We're rising. Kids going to college from Longwood. My 3 seniors last year all going off to college. I got guys that's getting recruited for college now. We got transfers coming in. We got a lot of stuff that we would never have or whatever if I didn't take that job. So for the guys that want that challenge, I tell them to take that challenge. But you got to understand, you got to work harder. You got to work harder than anybody. Or whatever. And if you know you work that hard, I feel like the job won't really play itself out, Coach.
Sure.
I just knew I had the dedication and the mentality to want to change that program, Coach. Because like I said, I didn't want a program that was already built, because, like I said, it wasn't. I got a legacy now that I feel like I can leave whenever I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think that's a real exciting opportunity is that it's going to be your program, and that, you know, you're going to be the one who's kind of building that and leaving that and you kind of leave your stamp on it. You got a lot more freedom, I think, to kind of do things your way or do things the way that you think is right. So yeah, I like that a lot. All right, Coach, to wrap up, what I give every guest is I give them what I call kind of like a 60-second soapbox. It's for you to get out kind of your final thought, your closing message, and any final shout outs you want to give, just kind of wrap up your own thoughts and your own kind of final message to those listening. So Coach, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor for that. So you can go ahead and take it away.
Now, Coach, first off, I want to say I appreciate you with this interview. Like I told you when we first started this interview, this is my first interview ever as a coach. Or whatever, so it was I was a little nervous, to be honest, but man, you made things very comfortable. But I just want to say I thank you, because like I said, you my first interview for my program, where I believe we are on the rise. I believe we are doing good things. I believe a lot of people will hear about Longwood Panthers now. So like I said, first I just want to thank you, Coach, for like I said, being the first one to give me this opportunity, man, because like I said, it was something that I know I needed. I know the program needed. So just want to say thank you. I want to shout out my whole coaching staff, Coach Joshua Crenshaw, man, Coach Jay, you know how much, man, Longwood wouldn't be Longwood without you, Coach. You already know, Coach Diamond, Coach Smith. I appreciate y'all. Man, look for big things for the Longwood Panthers. It wasn't a 1-year success. It wasn't a 2-year success. Man, we really plan on building a real program on 95th and Lomas. So look forward to big things from the Panthers in the future.
Well, that's a great way to leave it off, and I'm excited when I hear things about Longwood come this way, and I'll be like, oh, I remember that program, I remember that coach. I'm looking forward to it. Traveling all the way here to Arizona, where even people know who Longwood is. Looking forward to that. Coach Keys, I want to thank you for spending some time talking about your program, talking about the situations and the challenges and all the ways that you overcame it. Really looking forward to seeing your guys' success. Best of luck to your program. Hope everybody gets to stay safe out there, and if everything works out, hopefully you have some games to play this season. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, Coach. You enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for the interview.
Of course. Thank you, guys, and thank you so much for listening. This was another edition of the Basketball Teacher Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Basketball Teacher Podcast. Make sure to connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or reach us directly through email at basketballteacherpodcast@gmail.com. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time.